This is the Channel 1 Countdown.
Black men don't cheat. That's really true. And Citi just made us understand that very well. But let's move on to number 5 on the Channel 1 count. At a point in time, this song was number 1 for like 7 weeks, but it has dropped to number 5. And I'm talking about XLO. You go put me for emergency. Could you black featuring Calvin Boy?
Number 5.
My chest, your back asset. You know them play my chumbares. Me see my jolly, but no bata me kongo no. Baby kongo so. You dey see me no fit kill for my head. I need to know what you did. Oh yeah, send me a look kiki. Shabali girl no delay. Oh, my nest are not pretty. I need to know what you did. Send me a look kiki. Shabali girl no delay. Oh, my nest are not pretty. Come to my da. Oh, excellent, excellent, oh, excellent, excellent. You go put me for emergency. Shorty, excellent, excellent, oh, excellent, excellent. You go put me for
Citi 97.3 Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight, I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
This undermines totally what they are touting in the press, that they've gotten all the evidence against them and they should even come for plea bargaining. This is a lottery of a trial.
Former National Signals Bureau Chief Kwabna Edu-Buahin remanded after prosecution claimed he may tamper with witnesses if he is granted bail. Also, coming up, Public Utilities Workers Union PUBU raises doubts over the president's assurance that ECG will not be privatized. And later on Eyewitness News, government cancels contracts with school feeding contractors or school feeding program contractors. We'll be telling you more on that particular story and others here on Eyewitness News. And in business,
President Mahama hails BOG leadership as key factor for Ghana's economic turnaround.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM. All these in Takoradi in the Western region. In the Bono region, in Sunyani on Greener 95.9 FM. In the Ahafo region, we are on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM. in Goso. In the Ashanti region, we are on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Akpini Radio 96.7 in Kwando and Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohwe. In the Northern region, we are on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, we are on Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. In the Upper West region, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, we are on Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale. Around the globe, we are on citinewsroom.com and cityfmonline.com. Those are our websites. We're also on YouTube and we're on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM and get to see what's happening in the studio as well as listen to the conversations we have for you. Tonight, if you want to contribute to the discussion, do send us messages on 0549 986 996. That's our WhatsApp number, 0549 986 996. On Twitter, now known as X, you can send me messages by mentioning my handle at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973. Use the hashtag Eyewitness News and the world gets to hear what you think. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM coming to you from our studios in Accra, Ghana. I am Umaru Sandamad here with Enu Safo, and we start off with the courts. Former head of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabna Edu-Buahin, has been remanded into the custody of the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, or is it organization, IOCO, for 7 days by the High Court sitting in Accra following a hearing today. Our legal affairs correspondent is Hansen Ajiman. He's in studio with me. Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sander.
Great. So he had his appearance in court. Is this the second time?
Yes. So this technically is the third appearance. The first appearance was when he went to the High Court to seek for a variation of the bail conditions that were imposed on him by IOCO. And then the second was when he was officially arraigned and his plea was taken. He pleaded not guilty to all these charges. Then his lawyer, Samuel Atachian, prayed the court to grant him bail on the same conditions that he was on before he was arraigned. It was at that time that the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, indicated that he is objecting to the granting of bail to Kwabna Edu-Buahin. For the other two accused persons, he had no issues with them. His issue was that Kwabna Edu-Buahin, they had intel that he was tampering with witnesses. The judge decided to hear the evidence in camera today, and so that was what happened today. It was not a public hearing. They went into the chambers of the judge where they argued before the judge. Then the judge came out and said, weighing the balancing the rights of the accused person and also for the state to be able to prepare its witness statement, he is being remanded into IOCO custody for 1 week.
I see. So he has been in custody from the time he was arrested by IOCO?
No, so he got bail when he went to the High Court. Mm-hmm. When his bail, IOCO actually granted him bail.
But has he been? I mean, what I mean, has he been?
Yes. So he's been.
He's been in custody, even though there's been bail.
No,
he managed to.
He managed to secure the bail
and went home.
And he went home.
Okay.
But the issue is that the court that had the bail application,
mm-hmm.
the variation for the bail conditions is different, even though they are all high courts. Is different from the court that he was arraigned in.
So today's request was for the court to grant bail so that he will be coming for trial while he's home.
Yes. So today's request. So on Wednesday, his judge said he's already on bail,
mm-hmm.
but this bail was granted by a different court.
Okay.
He's now in your court. We are praying that you just go according to those conditions.
And it was objected to by the AG.
It was objected to by the AG. The AG saying that they have evidence that he was tampering with a witness.
So they adjourned to today.
They adjourned to today to hear evidence from the AG that he is indeed tampering with witness, which would then form a basis for the judge to take a determination as to whether he should be granted bail or he should be remanded.
And it was after this that the judge came back and said, no, I'm still keeping you in the cooler.
So, yes, so then the judge came and said, we are remanding you. So, essentially revoking that bail that had been granted.
Okay. Now, he's spending the weekend in the cooler. When are they resuming?
So, it's been adjourned to May 13 for further directions. He was actually remanded for 7 working days.
7 working days.
So technically, Saturday, Sunday will not be calculated as part of it. So Monday to Friday will be 5 days.
Okay.
And so it will end next 2 weeks Tuesday.
Okay, thank you so much. Hansen Ajiman is our legal affairs correspondent. Let me go to Samuel Atachia. He's former MP and lawyer, former member of parliament. He's lawyer for Kwabena Edubwa. In fact, I'm monitoring social media, and a lot of people seem to be saying, Hansen, that he speaks very good English. Let me speak to him.
I've you know, when we go to court, we actually type out what the lawyers say.
Yeah.
And the vocabs, I don't know, but he's very good.
Honorable Atachia, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yes, thank you, my good friend.
Everybody's celebrating your English. I remember when you were in the Supreme Court during the election petition, during that contempt hearing against Ken Crunchy. I remember you said, "Me lad," that's something I remember. So when they say you speak English, I'm like, yeah, that's you. How are you?
I'm very good. And I also thank God for your life and the good work you are doing as always.
Thank you so much. Except that your client didn't get the news he was hoping to get.
An imported issue to the effect that Kwabena Edubwa has been interfering with witnesses. And the argument was made openly that he hasn't gotten clairvoyance to know the witnesses that the Attorney General will want to fill to prove, his case. Therefore, to surmise that he will interfere with witnesses he doesn't know is a pathetic emotive conjecture that it shouldn't fly. That is why the judge said, well, if you have anything concrete, let's hear you in chambers. And it was done today. Now, we are not supposed to divulge what happened in chamber because we gave the justice of the High Court a firm word that he didn't want it to be public. That's why we said we should come to chambers. And then when we came out, he said, well, he's heard the arguments of both counsels, but he is of view that he will do a balancing act. That's what the judge said, that you want 14 days, to conclude your work. But I believe 14 days is outrageous. So let me do it 7 days. And whatever you think you have to do it and come back. But that will mean is that on the 12th, he should have his freedom. And these were the issues that came up. The only somersault was that a press conference has been done against him to the effect that they have all the evidence. As a matter of fact, he has a criminal enterprise, and that they better come and do plea bargaining. So if you have all the evidence, why is it that you are now telling the court that you need to do further investigation and you are afraid that the man might interfere with witnesses? And we pose the question that, do you strongly believe in what you are saying? That the man who is no longer a national security operative can pit his strength against Yoko, as well as NIB? The House Service President Mahama, if a man who is now an ordinary civilian could sort of block investigations of Yoko and NIB, please, I believe it's a very, very funny experimentation. We shouldn't do that when you release the liberty of the individual.
But you do know, as a lawyer and also a teacher, I'm sure you do recall that in granting bail is a prerogative, and in which prerogative a lot of considerations, including whether or not the person or the accused person may be tampering with witnesses. That could be one of the reasons that there could be a denial of the bail application. So even though we do not know what happened in private when you went to have that private caucus with or private hearing with the judge, it will be fair to surmise that the reason you were not granted the bail by the judge is because your client may end up tampering with witnesses.
I do not think so, because of the hard fact that the IOCO and National Security had kept the man from the 20th of May till the 8th of the 20th of March to the 8th of April when he was admitted to bail. So they had, excuse me to say, so the man was powerless. His phone has been seized. So between the period, was Yoko sleeping on the job? And National Security was sleeping on the job. The man has been incarcerated when he could not influence anything. I beg to say that this is a very emotive thing which we are seeing for the first time, that, now that the man has his freedom, he is interfering with witnesses. Meanwhile, if you believe that some witnesses can be interfered with, your best bet is to, sort of hold them in a room, give them the amenities of life, let them give you what they need for your trial.
So
and when you finish, you let them go home.
Protective custody for the witnesses, when you can rather have the person who is allegedly interfering to be rather held in custody?
The best way to do, if you are doing at the expense of the liberty of the individual, is for your so-called, witnesses to be comfortably with you. Maybe if you want to go and even to a Novotel or go to one of the good hotels and make them feel comfortable as you get your evidence from them. Because it is a lottery to say that, if I don't incarcerate a man, I can't conclude my investigations. Meanwhile, you've told the whole world that these people are guilty, they have a criminal enterprise, they should come for plea bargain and the rest of it. So people are guilty in the public space already. And now, let me experiment with their liberty and find the evidence. And in finding the evidence, let them suffer further incarceration as I find the evidence. Because you want to say that they want to interfere with witnesses. With what power are they going to, is he going to interfere with the witnesses? The witnesses that have volunteered to talk to you, that he doesn't know who the witnesses are. Who are the witnesses? Because it seems to me they want to credit Kwabena Dubuahin with a clairvoyance that he knows what the NIB is doing and what the Yoko is doing and what the Attorney General is doing. You're giving him more power that he's not gotten. And you're also telling us that, you are not on top of your job and you've been around for such a long time, incarcerated him for a long time. You are not trying to work. It's self-defeating. From my perspective, self-defeating.
So the judge has said he should be in custody for 7 working days. Are you going to try other moves, and legal moves, to have him out before those days, or you just wait?
We'll wait. That is a sound thing we want to do. We want to wait and let them comb the whole of the universe and find the evidence. We meet them in court.
You're ready?
Very much so.
And to the best of your knowledge, your client and all the other persons he's been accused with are all claiming innocence in this particular matter, and they are very positive.
They are very innocent. And the Attorney General is on the verge of blowing national security matters in the open.
Explain that.
I want to say that the man they are trying to disturb was an integral part of national security. And if you get the flow, they are saying that the money belongs to national security and went into private accounts.
Yeah, so how can that be? How does that blow up national security? It's rather preserving,
as to why movement of money from national security to where, they are all national security matters. If you understand how national security works.
Based on what you've just said, would you move for the hearing to be in camera then, considering that this may be bordering on sensitive matters of state?
My dearest brother and friend, I wouldn't want to expose my ammunition, but there are more serious things that will happen.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the best in your work.
My pleasure as always.
That's Honorable Samuel Atachia, former member of Parliament. He's lawyer for Kwabena Edubuahin, the chief of the former chief of the National Signals Bureau, who is standing trial. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We take a break. When we come back, termination of contracts of Ghana school feeding caterers is something we are looking at, and we'll hear from the Public Utilities Workers Union, PUW. The union is not fully confident when the President John Dramani Mahama said ECG will not be privatized. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. protector. And what they boss my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, why the big smile this evening?
I just realized all the Momo transactions I did today had zero charges. The money I sent to you for the market, no charges. The money I sent to Ajua in school, no charges. Even paying my 10 libras so, no charges. Every single payment I made, no charges.
See, that's why downloading my Momo app was a great move. Every weekend, transactions on the app comes with zero charges. Send money, make payments, all for free.
Don't miss out. Download my Momo app today and enjoy zero charges on all your Momo transactions every weekend. Just Momo it. Terms and conditions apply. MTN.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I have before me a communication address to all caterers under the Ghana School Feeding Program. It's on the letterhead of the Ghana School Feeding Program and it's signed by Hajia Fati Fogo. She's the national coordinator. The letter was dated, or is dated today, May 2, 2025. And it says, notice of termination of contracts of Ghana School Feeding caterers. Please be informed that contracts of all caterers of the Ghana School Feeding Program nationwide have been terminated with immediate effect. Accordingly, no existing caterer on the program should cook for the third term of the 2024-2025 academic year. All outstanding arrears for the second term of the 2024-2025 academic year will be paid in due course. The Ghana School Feeding Program Secretariat, as part of its ongoing restructuring exercise, will soon announce the modalities for the recruitment of new caterers for the program. Thank you. So that's it. Contracts terminated effective today. Na Humu Boatin is a caterer with the Ghana School Feeding Program. She's been on contract. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, madam. How long have you been with the School Feeding Program for? How long have you been cooking for?
Oh, I've been cooking since 2017.
2017, that sounds coterminous with the government that just expired. Were you a government appointee? Were you appointed by the MPP administration?
Oh, no. I'm not any government appointee. I just, how can I say? I'm not any government appointee. I'm nobody in the party. But just that when they open that everybody can register it, so register and I get it.
Oh, okay. So it's not as if you're an MPP member and they gave you a reward.
Oh, I just register it, then I get it.
Oh, okay. So now that you have heard what you are hearing, did you hear about this contract termination?
I have not heard about anything until this afternoon, or I can say evening. And one of you called me asking me that one, because since yesterday I have no data. It's just right now that I've got some. Oh. And what I know is that we are cooking this, we cook for every academic year from first term to second term. So we know that we are going to cook this term. After this term, then our contract will be ended. The next term, which is September, new academic year, we are not going to cook. So I don't know anything until this after that, I heard that our contract has been terminated. So I'm now here to see that I'm now here to get through it so that I will know that we have no contract or not.
I see. Now, which means that clearly you are worried, but do you have any option? Is there anything you can do?
I'm worried because we know that we are going to cook this term, which is Tuesday. The school will open Tuesday. So when school opens, I think we use just 4 days to do preparation for cooking. So we have already bought our things, our food items. Then after Tuesday, we will go to the kitchen, and if there is not clean, we should have to clean there 1 or 2 things. Our utensils, we will wash them. So we will do the preparation for the cooking. So we don't know that our contract is going to terminate this term. And if there is something like that, they should have notified after the school vacates, so that we will not go to market and buy items.
Oh, so school is resuming on Tuesday.
Yes, because school is resuming on Tuesday. That is why last week many of the caterers went to market and buy items for the work, because we are going to use it to cook. This by from Tuesday going. Some of the caterers start cooking immediately school opens. Others to use the 4 days to do the preparation of the cooking on other things. So many of us have been already went to market and buy items, and that is why I'm saying that if there is something like that, they should have told us as immediately that we vacate, so that we will not go to market and buy items.
What are you going to do?
That has made me worried.
What will you do with all that food stuff then now?
We don't know. And if they have already told us, we are not going to go to market. And now, I think it has made, today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, school has been open. And we don't know the new cases that are coming. If you may know them, maybe you can sell the items to them. And there is no recruitment yet.
They said that they will be recruiting. They will be announcing the recruitment procedure soon. Would you apply again?
We will apply. And so far as I'm a Ghanaian and school feeding, I know that is other Ghanaian can also cook. So I will apply. I will apply. If they give it to me, fine. If they not give it to me, then fine.
Your name sounds like you are okay. It sounds like you are Ghana. So if they say Mokwaya ni Mokwaba, that sounds similar to what is happening now.
My name sounds like Ghana, but I have not been there before.
So you cannot speak
Yes,
Ghana.
I cannot speak Ghana.
Okay, Ghana.
My father was Ghana.
Okay, Mokwaya ni Mokwaba means somebody should go for somebody to come.
Somebody should come.
So you should make way for the other people to also come and enjoy small.
It's true, but if they would terminate our contract, it's not that way that we have to go it. If it's truly that they have terminated the contract, then it is not fair.
Okay.
They didn't play fair game with us, because what you know is that we are going to cook to the end of the academic year, which is August. Then by September, new recruitment will start. That is what I know. So now that the caterers have went to market to buy items and foodstuffs and those things, and maybe others to go for firewood and the other ones. So now that you have to terminate the contract, what do you want them to do? What do you want us to do?
It means a cabefie now.
A cabefie, because.
But I'm going to ask you, the government
cannot return that items to the market women. They will not collect it.
Very well.
That is the problem.
Government says that your outstanding arrears for the second term, 2024-2025, will be paid in due course. What is your outstanding arrears? Is this just one term that is outstanding?
Okay. The outstanding arrears there, I can say that some of the caterers, many of the caterers' monies are in since 2023, 2024, 2025.
They've not paid some of them since 2023?
They have not, yes. And all of the caterers to our outstanding arrears is last term.
That's why you went to have that altercation with the former Ashanti Regional Minister some time back.
Yes.
And they've still not paid you?
They have not paid them. Others, they have not been paying those arrears because sometimes they say that underpayment, cooking days, and those kind of things. At first, at first, the day that school is open, that day I will start cooking immediately. But by the time they are coming to pay us, we hear that 4 days to use to prepare your kitchen and those. So that money are not going to pay. They are not going to pay us. And you hear that one is on cooking days, and then I stop cooking for the first week that school will open. But many of the caterers, they do cook, but those money will not come.
My question, you were working without being paid. Now you have been told to stop working. You should celebrate, go and collect your change and go home, no?
That is why that one is not any. It is not an. It could have been an issue, but they should have let us.
You don't mind the termination necessarily, but you wish you were given prior notice or enough time so that you do not go and incur further
before
costs.
That we will not go to market and buy food items because truly when the government changed, when the powers changed, none of the takers were afraid to cook. And we did not cook for, I think, weeks. The first week, after the first week, and we had a letter that we should all takers should go to kitchen and cook for the schools.
Now that I have you, before I let you go, let me just ask you one last question. They said the food you're cooking for the children, it doesn't taste nice, it's horrible, it's not good.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
They are lying. Those people, they are lying.
The food looks, no meat, no fish, nothing.
Our food is not tasteless, but the quantity is small. That one day, if you said that, I will agree with you. But tasteless is not true.
All right, and it's nutritious. It has nutrients.
And sometimes we use beans, and you know that beans has many nutritions, and this thing.
Protein.
And sometimes in our stews we use soya beans. Do you understand?
Yes, I get you.
And if you are cooking rice, you cannot cook rice without any meat. You have to use vitamins, vegetables, and those things. And there is nutrition in fact.
No, but they said dry jollof. That's what you've been serving the
dry
children.
jollof. That is why I'm telling you that if the money they were paying us was at those days was 97 pesos. Recently they have paid us 45 pesos, and we just get I think twice. And the last time we heard that they are increasing into two cities, and 2 cities we have not get it. So how do you expect me to use such as amount like 500 cities or 400 cities to cook for kids about 350? I will cook the food, okay, but the quantity will be small. But nutrition or tasteless, that one is not true because I myself I eat some. So why can I cook food like this? I cannot do that.
Very well.
And you can tell me with this time around, this is almost about 3,500, 3,000. The account weight is 3,500 and 3,000, and the bush weight is 3,500. So if you buy beans 3,500, do you expect me to cook over 10 bowls to 150 cents? No. And the beans, one bowl, you buy one bowl like 60 cents or 70 cents. So I will cook the food, but the food will be just small.
Madam,
but
someone sent a message saying that you caterers, school feeding caterers, you were part of the reason that the MPP government lost because they were not paying you. And that person is an MPP person and saying that it serves you right. You voted against your own party and now you are losing your jobs. What do you say to that?
That person is a biased person. You don't want to speak the truth. That person, how can that person work a whole year without pay? Meanwhile, you are with kids, you have family, and you are working a whole year without pay, and you, because it's my government, so I should keep quiet. Oh no. And even the president, I think that every month the president is collecting his pay, not right. The ministers are getting their pay. The teachers are getting their pay. The MCs, the DCs, the MPs. So how can me, as a caterer, which I'm doing pre-financing, I'm using my own money to cook. Sometimes many of us going to bank. From starting, all the caterers start with their own money to cook. And because of that underpayment, cooking days and those kind of things, it leads the caterers to go to bank for loans. And the loan, you compare it that the interest rate is very high. So if the interest rate is very high, the caterers have going to money for about 20,000 to cook, and they are collecting interest over 6,000 because there is one lady here that she gets caterers loan, which is every 10,000 she collects 3,000 interest in every 6 months. And after 6 months, if the money has not been getting to her, she will increase the interest. So by the time that the money will come, you have already your interest has been almost more than the money that you have went for, and you will go and pay the money with interest, and you will left with nothing. So shouldn't we have to talk? We have to talk.
Don't you have to?
I know that some of the teachers went to President Mahama's office for their payment. The teachers has worked for 9 months. Why didn't they sit down that the government is now just 100 days or 120 days in power, so they will not go for their money? How can you work without money? And that one, if that person said that person is very hypocrite. And that person that has no conscience to say that. Because the government is my government, so I should not talk.
I think that's fair.
So how can you say that? We are the caterers. We went to the ground and talked to them silently, but they refused to listen to us. Can you work over a whole 3 terms, 7 to 4 terms without payment? Who does that? That person should not say that at all. It serves us right. It serves all of us right. If they did their things well, this shouldn't have happened. Sometimes when people get power, they think the power will last forever. No, it will not last forever. So far as it was with somebody and you went for it, the same thing, they will come, the power will lift from your hands to another person. The same that the NDC has got it and now they have started abusing the power. It will come a time they will we are not going to vote for them too again. So that person should not say that.
It will not remain forever.
Someone doesn't remain forever.
Thank you so much. Medasima, thank you so much. God bless you.
Okay, thank you.
That's now Humo Boatin. She is a caterer with the Ghana school feeding program. Her contract and other contracts of other caterers got terminated today. This is Eyewitness News. We'll be back.
Witness News. Be there as it happens.
Hot pepper powder. Moko shoe. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank. Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga, has dismissed claims by Minority Leader Alexander Penyamakin that President John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress are plotting to retain power. This follows allegations by Alexander Penyamakin that the recent nomination of 7 justices to the Supreme Court by President Mahama is part of a strategy to pave way for his return to power beyond the constitutional limit. In an interview with Citi News' Zoe Abubedu on Citi Prime News, Mahama Ayariga rejected the claims as baseless and politically driven.
The records show that the Chief Justice had made some recommendations to the outgone president to appoint 5 additional judges to the Supreme Court. The records, which have not been challenged by the Chief Justice, states that she had recommended that Justice Angelina Mensah Homia, Justice Eric Che Bafo, who was my own classmate in law school, Justice Edward Amako Asante, Justice Sarah Pamela, and then Justice Aria Asare Bafo were all recommended to the outgone president to be appointed to the Supreme Court. There are 5. And the outgone president himself had also nominated 2 justices and actually submitted them to Parliament. And that was Justice Sophia Rosetta Benasco Essa and then Professor Richard Frimpong Opong. So clearly those are 7 nominations that the NPP government thought should be made to the Supreme Court. And so I don't think that there's anything wrong with President John Dramani Mahama now making the 7 nominations to the Supreme Court. They may be different individuals, but the principle as established by the CJ and the NPP government was that there was a need for 7 additional nominations to the Supreme Court. You see, I've always said that people need to understand our constitutional architecture. Our Supreme Court is not the same as the Supreme Court of the United States. And there are some of us who have been arguing that there's indeed a need to even have, a northern bench of the Supreme Court, so that lawyers and practitioners from the north don't have to always travel either as far as to Kumasi or even Accra to have their appeals heard. And litigants, rights claimants, and defendants, through no fault of theirs, somebody goes to appeal in a matter in which they have had judgment, and they are living in Boku, in Bolgatanga, in Paga, and then because somebody who has taken them to court, has appealed after losing at the High Court, Court of Appeal, and has a right to go to the Supreme Court, has gone to the Supreme Court, then they are forced to travel down to Accra or, recently Kumasi, in order to respond. And that is cost to citizens. And so the court should be friendlier by reaching out. And the effort to create a bench in Kumasi was good. But let's go a little further. We can go further up north to Tamale. And we need the numbers to be able to exercise that kind of ability to provide a greater and friendlier service to Ghanaians. So if you recall, when I think one of the nominees came for vetting, I advocated that if we really want to deal with the problem, then we should separate the appellate functions from the original jurisdiction of the court and create a special court, Supreme Court, for original jurisdiction, which is constitutional interpretation and etc., whilst we deal with the issues of appeals. But even then, it becomes just difficult. So I think that administratively, the effort to reach out to citizens by having more judges, if it can be contained within our national budget, should be fine.
All right. Mr. Yaga, I want to find out, has your position on the unconstitutionality of the appointments made change? Because you indicated last year or argued that the appointments were unconstitutional, even questioned the president's authority to appoint more justices to the Supreme Court. Has your stance changed now?
I really don't understand the context of unconstitutionality that you are raising. I doubt that. I think that what really happened was that we in the minority used our power to consider nominations, to oppose those nominations. But there was nothing really, there was no argument about unconstitutionality. I think that the argument was that people felt that he was parking the court. That's all. Not that it was unconstitutional, but that he was using his the opportunity of the fact that he had because if you recall, what happened was that some judges were about to go on retirement, and even before they went on retirement, he was quickly nominating people to be considered in anticipation of those who will go on retirement. Some of them were going on retirement after he had left office.
Okay. All right.
So we argue that, look, leave it so that when your successor comes and they actually go on retirement, he will also have an opportunity to nominate people to serve on the Supreme Court. So that was the argument.
Okay.
And when he insisted and made his nominations, we also used our numbers on the floor to block it.
Okay. All right. Now, how do you respond to your colleague on the minority side suggesting that President Mahama intends to seek a third term following his recent nomination to the Supreme Court?
I think he's the one who is putting the idea of a quest for a third term in the minds of Ghanaians. I'm not sure I've heard people discussing that. Neither have I heard NDC strategies even considering that. But by what he is doing, he is the one actually putting the idea in people's heads. If you recall, the question of whether or not John Mahama can contest a third term came up even before he filed his nominations to contest elections. Indeed, there were people who threatened to even go to the Supreme Court to prevent him from contesting on the grounds that they thought that if you looked at the constitutional interpretation, once he had left office, he was not qualified to run again. And then the argument came about what is really the meaning of that constitutional provision. Does it require that you serve continuously for 8 years and then you are disqualified? Or if you break once and then whether you can even come back again? And if you come back, will that second comment be considered as a first term, for which reason you are entitled to do a second term? All those arguments came up even before John Mahama contested the elections, when people made efforts to stop him from contesting the elections. But, you know, he contested, he's won, and NDC has not been discussing any question of a third term for John Dramani Mahama. And it is he, Afenyomakin, who is putting the idea in people's heads. So I won't be surprised after these statements that he has made that some people may actually begin to think about it seriously.
You heard Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Yariga, speaking to Zoe Abubedu Ado on City Prime News.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Yesterday was May Day, and the president was there. Before he spoke, Organized Labour made a number of remarks, including the plan to have a private sector participation in the electricity company of Ghana. Organized Labour said ECG was going to be privatized. The president said, no, that's not entirely true. There's a plan to deal with ECG, but not to privatize it. Now, PU is not very happy with what the president said. Timothy Nyami is the General Secretary of the Public Utilities Workers Union, PU. Mr. Nyami, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, and warm greetings to your listeners.
Warm greetings to you too, comrade. Before I speak to you, I just want us to hear what the president said to your fellow comrades yesterday and ask you what about it was not satisfactory.
Thank you.
Not do something drastic, our whole power sector will collapse. We can only bring down power tariffs if we improve efficiency in the distribution of power. Let me assure you, that is not my intention to privatize ECG as an institution. Our attention is more a public-private collaboration to inject efficiency into our downstream electricity distribution system. And I must say, it will not be the first time. It's been done before. When I was president, in the free zones, a private company, Enclave Power, was giving the rights of metering and billing in the free zones. Electricity company provided them with bulk supply of power. They paid the electricity company until today. They still pay electricity company monthly on time every power electricity company produces to them. And their billing and collection in the free zones enclave is 99% of revenue is collected. This is an existing example. And I'm sure that we can make our electricity distribution more efficient through public-private partnerships. But I can assure you, and read my lips for emphasis, electricity company as an institution will not be privatized.
That's President John Dramani Mahama. You cannot see his lips, but he said you should read it. And Mr. Nyami, he says ECG will not be privatized. He's the man with the most authority in this country. If he makes that statement, you should believe it, no?
Yes, okay, so thank you very much. Yes, I was there, so I read his lips.
Oh, great, that's even better. He wasn't wearing a nose mask.
We thank him very much. We thank His Excellency very much for the assurance. But you know, our position paper sent to the ministry stated categorically that PSP and privatization are one and the same for with the union, because we have seen various forms of PSP that metamorphose into privatization. More so in a sector like an energy sector, where already we have upstream players coming from a private sector. Now, they are saying they want to also operate the retail end of the energy sector. So that is a main cause for concern for labor. And that's the reason why we have itemized issues for the attention of government. Issues that we think that when they are put in place will not bring this so-called private sector participation. So that's our stand.
So you think that the whole enterprise can be abandoned or could be avoided if it could? All these decades, how do we have, or why do we still have problem with ECG? If you had the master stroke to deal with it, we wouldn't be having this conversation, should we? Because I've spoken to experts who say, listen, even the PDS deal, forget the boardroom wrangling, it was the best deal for us as a state to prevent the losses that ECG incurs annually.
So, my brother, PDS, technically, they were showing leadership. That's the leadership, the leadership that we are asking His Excellency to put in place. Thank God he has appointed a managing director, Engineer Kopena, who has shown the way. He has given all the district managers performance contract. So now we are only waiting for him to put the board in place. That will also show the direction. And there are certain many things that we outline for the attention of government. That if they remove this political interference and they give us, they provide meters for us, they also renegotiate the IPPs. My brother, I'm just surprised that nobody is speaking about the cost of power that we are buying. That the power that we are buying that can there is an agreement for review. Nobody is talking about it. We are thinking that the price of power we are buying is not competitive. The price is not competitive, and there are clauses for review. So these are some of the issues that we are raised to the attention of the honorable minister. That they should look at it and put these issues in place. Then you appoint competent leaders who can be able to crack the whip, so that the sector will remain for government. So you don't need a private man to come and direct anything. Why the number one person has authority to fire or hire somebody, to fire somebody who is not performing? And I'm saying that the workers of ECG, who they have employed and trained, have capability of turning around the fortunes of this sector, provided there's a will, a clear direction from the top. That's all that we are talking about. And I think we knew the union have been in constant contact with management, raising these issues that today you are seeing that that has come up. The union has not been quiet in trying to meet management, finding out how best they can turn around the fortune of this organization. That's why we are calling that. Look, we are also concerned. We are Ghanaians, and we are thinking for the best interest of Ghanaians. So you need not put this entity in the hands of a private before they can perform.
Very well. We'll keep an eye on the process. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
That's Timothy Nyami. He's General Secretary of the Public Utilities Workers Union, PUW. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno?
Let's do some more stories, Sanda. The Ghana Police Service has rescued 2 women who were kidnapped and seen in a viral social media video. Earlier this week, graphic footage showed one of the victims visibly distressed while being assaulted by suspects who demanded ransom for their release. In a statement, the police said collaboration with the National Signals Bureau and the Nigerian Police Force led to the arrest of 8 suspects in Ghana and Nigeria. Speaking to Citi News, Director of Public Affairs ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi said while arrests have been made, investigations are still ongoing.
We commenced the investigation from here. Throughout last week, we were working on this case. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyehono, constituted a special team made up of officers from the CID, the Police Intelligence, the Cybercrime Unit, and other support units. And then we called on the National Signal Bureau, and they came to give us full support, and they worked with us throughout the process of the investigation. And when our intelligence led us to Nigeria, the Inspector General of Police reached out to his colleague in Nigeria, who also responded very positively, came on board fully with his team, supported us, and this led us to rescuing of the victims, 2 of them, after which we also arrested the suspects. We got 3 of them in Nigeria, and the remaining 5 were arrested here in Ghana.
Touching on the fatal shooting incident at Siyo near Akwane Dobro in the Nsawam area, which left 5 people dead, Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi, said more arrests have been made. She noted that further details will be shared soon as investigations progress.
Regarding the shooting incident at SPL near Nsawam, our officers were called to a scene. When we got there, 5 people had been shot dead, and some items, vehicles, weapons, motorbikes were left at the scene, all of which have been recovered. As per today, I can say that we have made some arrests, and we'll be sharing the details with you shortly.
You heard Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi. President John Dramani Mahama says his government is committed to making significant investments in the tourism sector to enhance its growth and global appeal. He noted that critical support will be extended to practitioners in the creative industry with efforts to promote Ghana across digital and physical platforms. The president made these remarks yesterday during the official launch of the Black Star Experience, a key initiative under his 120-day social contract aimed at rebranding Ghana as the cultural and creative heartbeat of Africa.
Black Star Experience is our solemn pledge, one, to rebrand Ghana, and in that we will showcase to the world the brilliance of our festivals, the rhythm of our music, the beauty of our fashion, the power of our films, the richness of our cuisine, the wisdom in our storytelling, and the unmatched warmth of our people. So the creative energy of our people will radiate daily from every region and every community. Imagine the majestic rhythms of the Hogbechocho Festival in Anglo, the electrifying art of the Chaliwate Festival right here near the Black Star Square, the dazzling colors of Fitu Afashe in Cape Coast, broadcast to global audiences, the Ojura festivals of Ekwapim and Ashanti, Abuachiri of the people of Efutu, Homowo of the people of Ghana, and the Bogum festivals of the Dagbon people. Imagine tourists not simply visiting Ghana, but immersing themselves in our heritage, experiencing our stories, and returning home as cultural ambassadors of Ghana.
President John Dramani Mahama.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inu Safo. Let's settle for the details. President John Mahama has stated that Ghana's economic recovery is firmly underway, citing the leadership of the new Bank of Ghana management as a key driver of the turnaround. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony of Matilda Santia-Siedu as second deputy governor of the central bank, President Mahama noted that his administration inherited a severely weakened economy but has begun reversing the decline through bold decisions and a renewed approach at the Bank of Ghana. He urged the newly appointed deputy governor to stay the course and remain committed to the ongoing economic reforms needed to ensure lasting stability and growth.
When we assumed office, the economy we inherited was deeply distressed. Investor confidence had hit rock bottom. Inflation was soaring. The Citi had sharply depreciated, and our debt situation was precarious. The domestic debt exchange program further strained the financial system, shaking the foundations of liquidity, confidence, and stability. We recognized that this was not a time for rhetoric. It was a time for serious, disciplined, and coordinated institutional action. I'm pleased to note that under the leadership of Governor Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama and the bank's senior management, the recovery process has begun in earnest. Inflation, while still high, is moderating. The Ghana Citi has appreciated by 3.16% on the interbank market and by nearly 5% on the Forex Bureau market, a remarkable reversal of last year's volatility. These gains are not accidental. They are the results of careful monetary tightening, improved foreign exchange liquidity, and a better synchronization of fiscal and monetary policy frameworks. Furthermore, the staff-level agreement reached with the IMF during the fourth review of our extended credit facility program reflects growing international confidence in our reforms and in the credibility of our economic governance. It is against this backdrop that we welcome Mrs. Matilda Santia-Siedu as second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. Mrs. Santia-Siedu brings with her a distinguished career across banking, from corporate communications to financial inclusion. Her role as group head of retail banking at Access Bank Ghana places her at the front lines of everyday financial banking challenges and opportunities for Ghanaian households and small businesses. She also has a proven track record in stakeholder management and institutional reform. These are valuable assets to the bank as it seeks to rebuild trust, engage the public more effectively, and foster a more inclusive financial system.
Also speaking at the swearing-in ceremony of Dr. Alhassan Idrisu as the new government statistician, President Mahama stressed the need for factual, credible and independent national data, urging the Ghana
ministries, academia, civil society organizations and the private sector to strengthen the culture of data use across government. Under this administration, we're building a governance model anchored in transparency, performance and accountability. From health, education and agriculture to urban planning, we need timely and disaggregated data to guide implementation, to measure results and correct our course when necessary.
President Mahama speaking there. Data from the Cybersecurity Authority has revealed that financial losses linked to online blackmail and sextortion have surged to nearly 500,000 Ghana cedis in the first 4 months of 2025. The figures represent a sharp rise from the nearly 104,000 Ghana cedis recorded over the same period in 2024.
According to the Cybersecurity Authority's latest public alert, the number of cases reported between January and April 2025 saw a marginal increase compared to the 155 reported cases in the same period of 2024. The perpetrators leverage fake social media profiles, typically featuring attractive images, to initiate romantic conversations with unsuspecting users. Once trust is established, they manipulate victims into sharing explicit content, which is then used as leverage in extortion schemes. Victims are often coerced into paying ransoms via mobile money under intimidations that compromising videos or photos will be published online. Notably, the cybersecurity observed that payments rarely stop the blackmail, with some victims reporting ongoing threats even after complying with demands. The Cybersecurity Authority continues to encourage vigilance, advising the public to avoid engaging with unknown online profiles, refrain from sharing intimate content online, and also promptly reporting incidents through its 24-hour cybersecurity channels.
That report on the financial losses linked to online blackmail and sextortion was filed by Daniel Sakite. Now, Ghana's upstream petroleum industry recorded a remarkable 181% surge in investment, rising from $32 million in 2023 to $90 million in 2024, largely driven by ENI's Cape 3 Point operations. This is highlighted in the Public Interest and Accountability Committee 2024 annual report. Daniel Odromensa has more in the following Business Desk report.
According to the report, the Petroleum Commission's exploration investment in Block 4 climbed from $9 million to $69 million. However, development investment dropped by 21.6%, falling from $1.25 billion to $980 million. The decline is mainly due to reduced drilling by Tullow in the Jubilee field, where spending dropped from $631 million to $285 million. Development still dominated upstream spending in 2024, accounting for over 91%. While exploration made up just 8%. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Energy is negotiating new exploration rights in the onshore Tano Basin and considering fresh investor applications.
Daniel Odromensa filed that report. GCB Bank PLC has posted a profit before tax of 1.91 billion Ghana cedis for the 2024 financial year, marking a 25.3% year-on-year increase as the bank concludes its 4-year strategic cycle. The bank's total assets also rose by 58% to 42.58 billion Ghana cedis, accounting for 11.58% of the industry's total assets, outpacing the 33.79% growth in industry-wide assets. Speaking to shareholders at the bank's 31st annual general meeting in Accra, Board Chairman Professor Joshua Alabi pledged a sustained growth trajectory for 2025.
We have empowered our people, improved the performance and resilience of our systems, implemented best-in-class digital solutions, refined our processes, and enhanced governance, making GCB a more customer-centric bank. These efforts have driven significant achievements, including record profit before tax, diversified revenue streams, and a stronger risk culture. I am pleased to announce to you that we have expanded our balance sheet by 58% to 42.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. And our capital adequacy stands at 17.5% at the end of the year and compares favorably with the regulatory limit of 13%. This performance has been robust, reflecting the prudent decision made during the period and a resolute commitment to sound corporate governance, ethical standards, and sound business practices.
That was the board chairman of GCB Bank PLC, Professor Joshua Alabi. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inusafo. Up next is Points Blank.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more Super. And the Polytank, we did Polytank.
Always the best.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Umaru Sandamado. Tonight on Point Blank, we're talking about local government. Now, you do know that the president has nominated Municipal, Metropolitan and District Assembly Chief Executives. They have been going through their confirmation. There was a rejection, there was an acceptance, there was a rejection. We are going to the Ayawaso East Municipal Assembly here in Accra, where Abdul Ganiu Ibrahim has been endorsed by assembly members. Now, this endorsement happened today. Let's in order to focus a bit more on local government issues, talk to him, the newly endorsed MCE for Ayawaso East, Abdul Ghani Ibrahim. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How was it? Easy road, difficult one?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I think it was an easy road, but Alhamdulillah, we were able to go through from the vettings, from the regional vettings to the national vettings. So Alhamdulillah, it's good.
Just to be sure, Ayawaso East has NEMA, right?
Yes, NEMA. Yes.
And which other major towns or communities?
Yeah, so the Ayawaso East is the constituency, and then we have the NEMA, we have the 37, and then we have the Jubilee House, and then we have the Kanda, and then we have the Paloma, and then we have the former Vice President House and the NEMA Police Station.
So those are your electoral areas?
Yeah, those are the electoral areas.
You are the MCE for both the president and the former president?
And the former president, yes.
No, you are a big man.
Thank you, boss.
Who are you? Who is Abdul Ghani Ibrahim?
Abdul Ghani Ibrahim is a product of NEMA, who is a former assembly member for Videoland electoral area. He's a businessman also. I own a travel and tour in Ayawaso East. And I grew up in NEMA. So I believe I am product of NEMA. That's what I can say for now.
So you do business. What kind of business?
I own a travel and tour in Ayawaso East. So I do traveling, ticketing issue. I support documentation. And
I was going to ask to join one of your travel and tour agency trips, but I think I'll be more interested in NEMA as a tourist site. Do you have anything of interest that if someone came from, say, Kenya or from Uganda and wanted to know Accra and hears about NEMA, what are the things of interest in NEMA that people could come and look at? Or what are the interesting things you have in NEMA?
Thank you very much. Ayawaso is, especially the NEMA, we have a very nice place inside the NEMA, because when people hear about the NEMA, they think is in a negative way. So mostly when people come to NEMA, they will see it's a very nice place to be. It's very peaceful.
Mr. Mayor, somebody sitting by you, the person is not wearing the seatbelt. Tell the person to kindly wear so that we can...
I'm in the car, so let me put on my seatbelt.
Okay, it is okay, so that we can hear, because it's a bit distractive. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Distracting rather. Abdul Ghani.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So it seems like you are moving. So now you can take your time and talk to us.
Yeah, I can talk.
Okay.
It's raining, so.
Hey, if it's raining, and you're in NEMA.
In NEMA, yes.
How are the gutters looking? Are they able to hold the water?
Well, even though now the rain is not that heavy, so it can hold it for now.
You know that the rains expose everything about us. When the rains come, the lights go off, the potholes come up, the waste is vomited onto the street, the flooding happens, people are displaced, and then all the problems that would follow. How do you intend to deal with that? You have Babangota in NEMA. I mean, it's even called Bakingota, which is like an area named after Gota, which is gutter or a drain. It doesn't look very appealing. The last time I passed there, it wasn't a beautiful scene. What is your plan to deal with drainage in your municipality?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I think that's the major issue we are having right now. And if I can go back, the previous NDC government were the party who told the main backing water drainage. So we are back into power, and then His Excellency has promised the NEMA people that he's going to continue the drainage in backing water. So I believe since I've been nominated to be or appointed to be the municipal chief executive, I'm going to push so that we can get the drainage done. and also make sure that we have small drainage in the community that my municipality is going to work on it also.
So drain system, big problem. We'll really look for it, and it's not just exclusive to you. It's a general problem. A lot of the time people say, why don't we have our drains covered? I don't know, as an assembly, you do have an interest in having covered drains, or the cost involved is too much, you may not be able to do that, you may need the intervention of national government?
I think as an assembly, I don't think the cost is too much for it, but at this moment we have a project ongoing at the Ayawaso East, which is the garage project of the World Bank project. And most of the drainage that they are doing now is being covered, which is making our community now in a good shape. So I think we will just table it on the table, and then we can see if we can get other sorts of funds to do those type of drainage in the Ayawaso East.
Okay, now the next thing I would be interested in talking about, aside the drains, is sanitation generally. And I'm sure you do know the stigma associated with NEMA. What are you going to do? I remember the last administration said they were going to break down a lot of the slum houses in NEMA and build high-rise buildings. I think that has since been abandoned. I don't know what are you going to do to beautify or beatify NEMA.
The issue of sanitation is a headache to all of us, and then as a new municipal chief executive, we are going to go back on the drawing board, because I used to be the member of the assembly, and then we had meetings upon meetings how to tackle that issue. So now that I have the nod to lead Ayawaso East, we will see what we can do about the sanitation issue. I mean, the high-rising sky building there, I don't think is on the table for now. So the sanitation is going to be the main issue for us.
If I asked you what are your major themes or major thematic areas that you intend to deal with now that you have been made MCE, what would you say? What are the key things you are looking at fixing in Ayawaso East?
I think you mentioned one, that is the sanitation issue. And then the sanitation, and then we have some issue with unemployment, the youth unemployment, which we are going to work on it also. So I think this is the most two important issue for me now on my table.
On sanitation, are you going to do cleanup exercises? Are you going to punish people for dumping? Are you going to have... What will be the approach?
Yeah, I don't know. We are not going to punish anybody. We are going to be doing cleanup exercise. We make sure twice in a month. I think with the twice doing the cleanup exercise in a month, it's going to make things easier for us.
There was a campaign in the past, I recall, in NEMA. Was it Pave the Lungus or something close to that? Which was intended... Cement the Lungus. Is that something that your assembly is going to adopt? Is it something you think is good for beautifying NEMA?
Yes. It's a good initiative which my member of parliament started. So we have been doing it since 2019, and I'm going to continue to support my honorable assembly members so that they can do more of the cement of the Lungus, because it's raining. We are in the rainy season now, and if we can't get most of our Lungus cement, it's going to be a lot of challenges for us.
What about unemployment? You said you would deal with that. Well, how are you going to tackle that?
Yeah, we are going to liaise with the other government agencies like the YEA so that we can get employment to our youth.
Yeah, but how would you create employment? Because when you say you will create employment, how? What will you do? Where are the jobs from? Where are the jobs going to come from? Are you going to send them somewhere? What's your plan? I mean, something elaborate.
I think I will liaise with the YEA, like I said, so that the job at the YEA, we can lobby some from them. And then Ayawaso East also, we have...
Okay, so you don't really have a scheme. I mean, for instance, President Mahama has talked about Akukon Kitinkiti is not something you may consider. Cattle cattle rearing in your assembly is another issue that I have considered and seen all along the Kanda Highway, the Barking Goat and all those places. How are you going to deal with that? Cattle in the center of the city where you don't have grass? Oh, apologies, I've lost the newly endorsed municipal chief executive for Ayawaso East, Abdul Ganiu Ibrahim. I would try and re-establish connection with him here on Eyewitness News. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Unfortunately, we are unable to re-establish connection to Abdul Ganiu Ibrahim, the new MCE for Ayawaso East. But Jude Duncan of the Citi Newsroom went around to cover the confirmation hearings of the MCEs, including this particular one. Was it a controversial one before he was endorsed, Jude?
Sandra, it was a relatively calm one compared to what we've seen in other places, except to say that for the two confirmations we had today in Krowo and in the Ayawaso East Municipal Assembly, you could clearly tell that there was a heightened security presence there from officials and officers from the Ghana Police Service, as well as some other persons who were dressed in what you ordinarily describe as military attire. Okay. You know, some of them were being told were from the national securities, but couldn't independently verify that. So security was heightened at these two centers, but it was relatively calm.
In Nima?
In Nima.
You also went to Nungwa, that's Krowo?
I also went to Nungwa and Krowo.
What happened there too?
It was also relatively peaceful. For there, it was an overwhelming endorsement. 100%, all 17 assembly members voted in support of the now or newly nominated MC for the area, engineer Paul Afuti Kwe. Apparently, he also happens to be the general secretary for the constituency, the NDC constituency in Krowo. And we are being told that he's a close aide of the member of parliament for the area who doubles as the gender minister, Agnes Namomolate. So he's well known within the area, and you could tell that he's also, you know, well liked within the area. But for Krowo, there was one assembly member who passed, right? So there were supposed to be 18, but one passed, to 17 voted, and all 17 voted in confirmation or voted to affirm the nominated MC for the area.
In Ayawaso East, so he got all the votes?
But one.
Okay, all but one.
All but one.
Have they read anything like a speech to outline their policies after they were elected, or that would be for later?
I guess that will be for later, but in the immediate aftermath of their confirmation, I happened to engage some of them in an interview, two of them in an interview, let me say, where they very briefly outlined their vision for the areas where they are supposed to, you know, superintend over. And very clear in their communication was the fact that issues around sanitation, issues around road improvement were top of their list. And of course, if you go to the assembly, you see that the drip machines, that district road improvement trucks, yes, the program, the trucks and the machines bought to aid that particular project by the previous government were lying at these assemblies. And, you know, listening to these MCs, they talk about the fact that they are going to focus on improving the roads in their areas. Sanitation also featured prominently, as well as ensuring that members in the area, or the youth, let me say, are also well to do.
Thank you so much. That's Jude Duncan of the Citi Newsroom, and talking about the rains that we discussed earlier. Heavy rains in the metropolis, Bawe, Malam, Sakama, Odoko. That's information that's coming through from someone who is listening. Please drive with care when you are on the roads, because as you do know, the rains cause a lot of problems when they come. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's a Friday. We have to sign out. It's been great coming your way throughout the week with Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this throughout the week with Selom Kojadono. Production support, of course, Kwabena Wilson, Beverly London, Sami Wiafi, and the whole Citi Newsroom. Technical support, Thomas Obindako, Desmond Nyako, new media support, Emmanuel Owusu. It's a Friday night, which means nowhere to be but to be on Sports Panorama. Benjamin Ketia is head of sports here. He's in studio. He's the host of Sports Panorama. Benji, what are you happy?
That'll be cool.
How is it coming tonight?
A lot of things to talk about. Harry Maguire was up to his heroics again. My captain, your captain,
whatever.
Everybody's captain.
Whatever. Continue.
He's been hated